This is Sam's house. It is a separate, detached garage at my home. Who's Sam, you ask?
Let me introduce you to Samantha. Actually, she prefers to be called Sam. Sam is a 2017 leisure travel van Murphy bed, and she lives right here at home. Unfortunately, the last trip we took, Sam had a problem. Sam came equipped with a Dometic 8555 absorption refrigerator, and things went terribly wrong with that refrigerator on our last trip. The Dometic had acted a little squirrely before we left home, but as we were hooking up for the evening, it started to chime. The lights on its panel were flashing in succession, one after the other, like a neon sign pointing to the rear. The reset button would not respond. Actually, none of the buttons would respond, and the alarm sounded continuously. We desperately found the fuse and pulled it. We were headed to the North Georgia mountains and were still 400 miles away. We would not be staying in Sam while in the mountains, but we still had to get there. Opening the door briefly, we knew the contents were still cold. Thank goodness for the Costway portable freezer we carry. I did a review of this freezer a while back and will provide a link to that if you are interested. The Costway had enough room to save the frozen food, and we would need the ice. There simply was not enough room in the refrigerator space to save most of the items. We headed to the local Dollar General and bought a couple of styrofoam coolers and more ice. We stored the coolers in the shower, and that got us to the mountains. I'm going to give you my thought process in reaching a solution. My solution may not work for you, but it may give you some assistance in reaching your own conclusion. Do we repair or replace? Actually, a carpenter friend of mine made another suggestion. He said to pull the 8555 and build some shelves that would hold a portable ice maker and some ice coolers and be done with it. That idea lasted about a nanosecond. Repair or replace? We had already had some repairs done on the 8555, and at the time the repairman said it was getting very difficult to obtain parts. The repairman said that the problem now was probably the motherboard, and that even if we could find one, it would probably be quite expensive. I think we're going to replace. My initial reaction was to replace it with another 8555. That should be a simple plug and play, right? Yes, I know 8555s and absorption refrigerators in general have had a bad rap online, but we had good luck with ours for 7 years. That may be partially due to where Sam lives. As I mentioned, Sam has her own garage, complete with her own 30 amp electrical service. That means she can stay plugged in 24/7 when she's at home. That mostly has to do with the air conditioner. We live in Florida, and moisture is a problem. By leaving Sam plugged in 24/7, we can leave the air conditioner on about 80 degrees, and it pulls the moisture out of the unit. Having the refrigerator on all the time is just an added advantage. It means we don't have to cool it down every time we make a trip. It's already cold, and it means we can stock certain staples in the refrigerator and don't have to replace those each time we take a trip. I believe the fact that the refrigerator stayed plugged in 24/7 extended its life by not having it on and off all the time.
A search of the Dometic website indicated the 8555 was discontinued. The 10.5X that Dean had been promoting was no longer available either. Dometic was no longer making a three-way that size, nor could I find any other brand. Heck, I wanted a compressor refrigerator anyway. Compressor refrigerators come in two different versions, depending upon the power source. There are AC versions and DC versions. Residential refrigerators are AC models. You can pick them up at Lowe's, Home Depot, and many other locations. They are relatively inexpensive and come in all sizes. There were some two-way models for RVs, that's AC and propane, but in the end, a chocolate pie made this decision easy. We had a Thor Palazzo for a while with a residential refrigerator in it. We were going to visit my father-in-law, and Mary made him a chocolate pie to take with us. Chocolate pies are stored in the refrigerator, you know. On the way up, we made a turn. The refrigerator door flew open. The pie flew across the coach. Nothing could be salvaged. Sorry, Dad, no chocolate pie this time. Residential refrigerator doors are not made to make the twists and turns of an RV. Let's move on to a DC unit. So what is LTV using now? I believe it's a Norcold N2175 6.2 cubic foot 12-volt refrigerator. I have been told that Winkler has replaced older Dometic 8555s with this unit as well. The 8555 is 49 inches tall, 20.6 inches wide, and 24.5 inches deep. I could not find exact dimensions for the N2175, but the cutout needs to be 49 and 13/64 tall, 20 and 45/64 wide, and 23 and 45/64 deep. That sounds very tight. Too tight. All Winkler must do to make it fit in the new models is a little engineering modification to make the space right. I'm not sure how they are doing the replacements, but it does not sound like a job for me. I'm going to keep looking. Then NovaCool caught my eye. NovaCools are marine refrigerators. If they can withstand the high seas, then they should do fine in a land yacht on our glassy smooth roads. The first model I found was an RFU 6800 6.8 cubic foot model. What first intrigued me was that it came in both a DC only model and an AC/DC model. That might be an advantage with Sam plugged in all the time, but would it fit? The 6800 is 47 1/3 inches tall, 20 1/4 inches wide, and 21 1/2 inches deep. That is shorter, narrower, and less deep than the 8555. I can make the space smaller much easier than I can make it larger. What I do not like about it is the freezer is on the bottom and is a door. Seems awkward. Then I discovered the NovaCool 6400, also a 6.8 cubic foot, but it has a drawer for a freezer, not a door. It is still on the bottom, but I'm not standing on my head to see in. It is 46 1/2 inches tall, 20 1/4 inches wide, and 19 3/4 inches deep. Now we're talking. But wait. NovaCool has a model 6406, exactly like the 6400, except it comes with two compressors. That means you can control the temperature of the refrigerator and the freezer separately. Cold or ice cream. I ordered the 6406 AC/DC model. Now I have to install it. I did not think that would be difficult. The 8555 had both AC and DC coming into the back. Cap off the propane, raise the floor a bit for the shorter height, throw in some molding, and I'm good to go. On Facebook, there is a leisure travel van upgrades group. There I found a few others that had traveled this road before me. There is a great deal of useful information there. I changed my order to a DC-only model based on information that I found there.
I plan on making a video as I install my new NovaCool. I will post a link to that video once it is there. You may make an entirely different decision than I made, but hopefully I saved you a little time in the process. I hope you have safe and happy travels.